Hello! Whoa, and welcome to Xbox International Airlines. We are now boarding Flight 32. So, before I introduce this awesome panel and this great guest we have on today, I want to say hello to the chat. I hope you all are doing great, awesome, and fantastic. So, guys, fasten your seatbelts because today is gonna get wild, crazy, and me and Captain Sour Blow are gonna have a game of what's it called? Rock, scissors, paper, scissors. Rock, yeah. We're gonna have a game of rock, paper, scissors to see who is going to headline the show today. So yeah, we're gonna have that later on. So it's time to introduce the awesome guest. He is the most famous insider out there. Also, a man who loves beer and hockey. Also, he has one of the best intros in video game. What's it called? Video game what? Video game. Oh man, my head's going down today.
YouTube news.
Video game news. Yes, thank you so much. Yes, which it goes like this.
Intro.
Mr. Bloom.
Sounds
What?
nothing like it. But
Yeah, it does. It
was
does sound
close.
like that.
I'm still waiting for the Crazy Louie singing channel, so hopefully we can get that up soon. But yeah, thanks for having me on, guys. I'm happy to be back here. It was a great time last time I was here. I'm drinking a beer again today, drinking some red ale. Yeah, excited to jump into all the topics I have to go over today. Should be fun.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have a lot of fun today, and also introducing. And thank you for being and joining us today, Mr. Plume. And also introducing the most awful driver out there, who loves to play fake games. He is the worst Halo player, Mr. Sourbloww. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. First of all, thank you, Plume, for coming in at short notice. It was a blast having you last time, and hopefully we'll have a blast again. Unfortunately, our friend Silent Cipher is not here today, our captain. So shout out to him. And excited to be here, and hearing all of Crazy Lou's shenanigans and
Yep.
and lies.
Yep.
But let's start. Let's just roll with him.
My what? No, I
Your
might get
lies.
some second. My lies. I have never lied once in my life. Never have. Never have. I might got an introduction, but I have never lied. Yes.
Sure.
But anyways, introducing the man who is known as God Louie. So please, hashtag God Louie. They keep putting Goofy Louie, but do not listen to them. They're just jealous of me because each day I look more like Henry Campbell. They say I can't sing, but I can sing a Pavarotti song if you guys want me to. La, 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 la. I shower every 5 minutes, which is true. I do my awesome good morning videos and promo videos to other channels and our channel too. I am known as the Crazy One, and I am doing pretty fantastic, guys. It's been such a long day. Happy that we're going on the show with Mr. Plume. We're gonna have one fun episode and one fun ride. We got a lot of topics going down there. Woo! So now, let's say what's up to the chat real quick before I pass it to our brother Sourbloww, which we only have back from the dead. Brother, hello and welcome. Hope you're still here with us. and hang out with us and enjoy the show. Hello, Baren Hayes. I hear you're from South Africa, man. Welcome to the show, man. I hope you sit here and enjoy the show with us. We're gonna have one fun, crazy ride. Mr. Dark, how are you doing? I hope you're doing fantastic. Vite Click familia, que lo que mi hermano, feliz de verlo usted aquí, mi querido hermano. So Sour, take it away with the flight itinerary.
All right, for the flight itinerary, we have a few topics we're going to try to cover today. We're going to talk, of course, about the family plan. We're going to talk some Halo Infinite information. We're going to talk about Gamescom. We're going to talk about, the Sony price hike. We're going to give our perspective on it. We have a lots of other topics we're going to run through, but pretty much, just so you have an idea of some of the topics we're going to cover today. So, and back to you, Crazy, today. You think you could take on the in-flight, passenger announcement, the takeoff announcement?
I think I can, even though I don't have my captain head on. But yeah, I'd probably grab some gear to try to look like a crazy captain. But yeah, I think this works. Does it work?
I would not get on that plane. I'll tell you that much.
Why don't you get on that plane?
What kind of captain is? Oh my God!
Can you see out of those glasses?
I can see, yeah, clearly. I can see this. Oh man, it's Elton John. Yeah, it could probably be Elton John. Yeah, but hey, I have my cool co-captain gear. But yeah, let's do the flight announcement. Let me see if I can do the voice of our dearest captain, who is sadly on a camp trip. Sadly, no, he's actually having fun. But yeah, we are the ones who are sad because we can't go camping with him and have the fun he is having. But yeah, so let's start. Let me see if I can get the voice. Ladies and gentlemen, Captain Sour has turned on the subscribe button. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so. Please store your food and beverages next to your desk, underneath your seat, or in front of you. Please take your seat and fasten your seatbelt. And also, make sure you have hit that notification bell. We gently remind that smoking and drinking are not prohibited on this flight. However, taking time off to play Saints Row is strictly prohibited. Just kidding. Going to miss you, Silent. Enjoy your time off. And if you have any questions about our flight today, please don't hesitate to ask one of our flight panelists. So, let's start by asking you all, what have you all been playing? Let's start with you, Mr. Plume.
Yeah, so I've been going pretty much spending all my time playing Saints Row for the last week or so, or whenever it came out. And contrary to the popular opinions out there, I'm having an incredible time with the game. I think it's a ton of fun. It's definitely not perfect. There's a lot of issues with it, but absolutely just spending hours doing wild stuff in the game, blowing stuff up, driving around, shooting everything in sight, and just mindless fun. Pretty good game. I mean, there's a lot of negativity around it, but I would say, like, if you like Saints Row, check it out.
Yeah, I'm just sad about some, but I won't mention it because I already mentioned it last week. But
oh my God,
I'm sad about some. Yep. But either way,
don't even ask him.
What?
No, I'm saying don't even ask him.
Oh, okay. Don't even ask me. Yeah. Last week we got on it and.
Okay, we got it, Craig. Please, please don't jump back to that.
It deeply depressed me. But either way, Sarablo, what have you been playing, brother?
Well, I've been playing the usual that I've been playing lately. A lot of Witcher, and I actually play a bunch of Yu-Gi-Oh because the what's it called, the season pass was ending, and I noticed at last moment, so I was trying to get to level 100 quickly, and unfortunately I noticed there was no way I could get to level 100. I got to like level 94 and stuff. I was so pissed because I was so close, but it is what it is. But loving Witcher, oh my God, it's amazing.
Such a great game, huh? Especially that breeze and everything that runs through you, the music. You just want to keeps you make you go galloping and talk to people, and yeah, such a great game. I love that game to death. I can't wait for the upgrade to come out so I can sit there, and play it.
Yeah, that's that. I was waiting for the upgrade, honestly, but looking at 2023, I was like, "There's no way I'm gonna wait for the upgrade."
So many games. Yeah.
So many, yeah. So that's why I just decided to jump.
Yeah. Here's me. What have I been playing this weekend? I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
I sat down and what?
No, go ahead. I was gonna ask you. I forgot.
Oh,
So go ahead, jump in.
oh. Baran Hayes asked, any update on when the Witcher next gen patch comes out? We haven't received any update about that, right, Sour? I think it's gonna be next year, right? They've been saying that it's gonna be next year.
Which update?
For ah
Which Witcher
for
3's next gen
Witcher
one.
3 next gen update.
Oh well, I think they never said, they never gave an official like date or anything like that. They kept
Yeah.
saying it's coming soon. The last I heard, it's coming soon, and everyone thought it was this year, but who knows how things are going.
Yeah, they can't make the same mistake they did with Cyberpunk and release something bad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh man. But me, what I've been playing? Well, I've,
Yeah.
I've been playing. I sat down and played a couple indie games. It's been a while, I sat down and played the games from Bit Bap Beru. I was playing Final Vendetta, which I actually beat it this weekend. It was a short game, six stages, was it? A beat 'em up, side scroller beat 'em up. That's what it's called, right? Side scrolling beat 'em up. Final fight style.
Yeah.
It was a fun
Yeah.
game. It was a fun game. I actually enjoyed it. I got my butt kicked a couple times because I forgot that the setting wasn't hard, so I had to, tone it down a bit, because bitmap games are really hard and they take a little bit extreme, especially that last boss in easy. He took 4 lives away from me. He was hard though. I can't imagine him hard, but yeah, I had fun. I was playing a couple indie games, and that's about it. I haven't played anything else. So now, let's head now to the climb and the in-flight appetizer rapid news, which consists of quick news where we will have 2 minutes for each topic. Oh man, let's shake this hat real quick. Oh, here we go. Oh man, Steam Deck 2.
Steam Deck 2.
Steam Deck 2, yeah, baby. Valve confirms that there will be next-gen Steam Decks, more open and more capable than the first version PC gamer. Sour Blow, what do you have to say about that?
Well, first of all, Bao decided to, they confirm actually that they're gonna keep updating their software. They're gonna keep using their software, and they're gonna actually support it towards the future, future iterations of the Steam Deck. So it's something that they're gonna continue to commit to for the Steam Deck. Something that Valve has, they have never done before in the past with any of their hardware. Which brings us to the question. Valve has committed for future iterations of hardware of the Steam Deck and continue to the support of the Steam OS. Valve has never committed in any previous hardware. Is it safe to say that the Steam Deck has been a success? And if so, major companies like Microsoft, Sony, do you think they would be trying to jump into the handheld market? Let's start with you, Plume. What do you think about that?
Well, Steam Deck, the first one it's just come out, right? I have a Steam Deck, and I think like it's the best handheld I've ever used and played. It's actually incredible. The stuff that you load up a AAA game on that thing, and you're just blown away that we're in a time where you're literally playing like Forza Horizon 5 in your hands, right? It's pretty crazy. So I absolutely love the Steam Deck, but yeah, I think like the success of it could potentially push more of these companies try to get into it. I don't know if Xbox and Microsoft would ever want to do that. You kind of see them straying away from trying to release like their own hardware for handhelds with cloud gaming, getting it onto people's phones. We saw like the Logitech handheld that's coming out. We saw kind of the leak of the pictures of that. And I think they're gonna go more in that direction, kind of partnering with different manufacturers to get their services onto different handhelds. But I think like Steam Deck has proven that handheld PC gaming is here to stay and people want it. It's been successful. It's great. And when it comes to Steam Deck 2, one thing that I find interesting is like with the Steam Deck itself, they're so open to you just kind of going in there and upgrading stuff. So probably could just kind of upgrade it yourself, even if you wanted to add some more memory, all that type of stuff to it. So I don't know.
Okay,
It's a great handheld, yeah.
Before I go to crazy real quick, This is just me, speculating of everything that's going on. We see Sony buying. They started to buy developers that make mobile games, and they're jumping. They have basically, say straight up that we want to jump into the mobile gaming. Microsoft also has purchased and are purchasing, mobile gaming studios. Do you see a scenario where, maybe they don't make a handheld as strong as Steam Deck, but maybe make a handheld that's kind of like a mobile phone, but, you won't have interruptions of calls or text messages? Because I think one of the things that scare most of these, companies is they don't want to waste all that money on expensive hardware. But what if they can go, make something like that, but that can also run, cloud games? Do you see that more of a possibility, or do you still think that Microsoft wouldn't jump into like handhelds?
I more of a possibility, but I just don't see them wanting to take the resources to make their own handheld hardware. I just don't see them. I don't see the point of it right now when they're so focused on. Phil Spencer continuously talks about how like everyone has a cell phone. We want to open up our gaming ecosystem to everyone, as many people as possible, and the best way to do that would be through cloud gaming. So I feel like it kind of would be a shift in the direction that they're trying to go. And then, like I said, with the Logitech cloud gaming handheld that's going to be released, they've already kind of said, hey, we're just going to go partner with these other companies who want to make the hardware and try to get Xbox Game Pass onto there. So I would be super surprised if they dove in and made their own specific hardware for Xbox for handheld gaming.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead, Grace.
I was gonna say it's incredible on how, because I mean there's this thing I see every year. I have to look for it, and I'll mention it later on. What's it called? That it shows you each year an estimate on how many people game on phones, computers, consoles, and stuff like that. And mobile phones has been a gaming feature for such a long time. I mean, it all started with what was this game called? Farm. I forgot. But it was on Facebook. It was a Facebook game. Then you had Candy Crush, and you got all these games, that made mobile gaming a lot more interesting. And it's cool that these guys are actually getting into it. And what Plume just said is true, though. I mean, Phil Spencer's focusing on all that stuff and just focusing on let's get Game Pass on mobile phones and yeah, Farmville. That's the game. Thank you so much, Farmville. I've been having that name for the past few weeks, and I was like, what's the name of that game? Farmville. Yes. That's the name of that game. But yeah, he's right though, and it's better to focus on that and partnering with companies who want to get xCloud on their handhelds, because again, at the end of the day, we all need mobile phones. It's something that's right now it's not even an investment. It's actually a necessity. So while you have your mobile, if you can play your xCloud games on it, you're good to go. If you're in a place where you're waiting, that something's going on, you sit there, you play a game. Basically, you turn to that, or you go to WhatsApp and chat, or go to the chat things. But if you don't want to chat, then sit there and game. So
There's
it's
also
good that.
sorry.
Go for it.
I was just saying that I know even on my phone, there's like the gaming mode. You turn that on, and you don't even get any notifications, anyways. Kind of.
What? That exists on a phone?
Yeah, there's like a gaming mode you can turn on Android. I don't know what you guys use, but I have the Pixel.
Yep.
Oh.
I use iPhone, so
yeah.
iPhone, learn from that. I hope they do learn from that. Yeah. But yeah. Yeah. But yeah, that's the thing though. He's right though. Phil Spencer needs to focus. Like, where he's focusing is the right point. He's hitting the point where he needs to go.
Okay. Well, I think that it depends. I mean, if they keep on the success in Japan, that might change their mind. But it's a wait and see. Let's see how things keeps advancing, because they still don't have that, even though they're doing compared to previous generation, they're doing much better, but there's still a long way to go. I think their marketing there has to be much more aggressive, but if they continue to grow audience there, that could change their mind. But crazy, can you pull the next topic out of the hat?
All right. Let's pull up that next topic and see which one it is. And this one's interesting. Halo Infinite, Wildlife, and Prometheans.
All right. Well, let
Not
me
again,
introduce it real
Prometheans.
quick, and I'll let you have the question. Correct to the question.
All right. All right.
So
Thank you, sir.
we have leak information about the Halo Infinite. You know, the Halo Infinite content that was cut out. Some of them at least. We have some wildlife information about different animals. We have the Prometheus that were also cut out, and we know that when Joseph Staten, I believe that's his name, when he took over, when he came and he became the lead for Halo Infinite, he decided, to cut some of the content, and he took a different approach. Like he switched things up. I know people are not happy with the content right now, but I believe that the reason he cut this content is because, he saw what might happen if they brought up Halo Infinite with all the content, and maybe they didn't have that like continuous like strategy, and maybe that's what he's planning for, and that's why it's taking a little time. But I saw the other day a tweet of one of the developers saying that they're coming with information soon, and they're gonna continuously update us with information that's coming. So hopefully they got a game plan of everything that's coming. But anyway, that's the brief idea of what was leaked. So crazy, you hit us with any questions.
All right. With this leak of content and what we've seen from the Forge community in Halo Infinite, first, do you think the game shouldn't have released in the state it did? Let's start with you, Sour.
Well, personally, me, the state it released, I was fine with it. I thought it was good enough. It released with a campaign that I think it was sufficient, and the multiplayer was fine. Of course, after having a 6 month season, you plus they gave us an extra, was it a month or two? Because they released it early. Of course,
it was a month early. I think it was in
okay, a month early.
November something. I
So
forgot,
it was like what, 7 months of not that much content. Of course, you're gonna get bored, and eventually you're gonna be like, okay, where's the new content coming? So I think the way it came out, it was fine. I just think they needed a better game plan of releasing content like constantly. That's personally what I believe.
That's awesome. So I mean, on my side though, I think the same thing you did. How about you, Plume? Do you think it shouldn't have released in the state it did?
I think since they already delayed it a year,
Yeah.
I think I'm always like the person who says delay it as long as you have to delay it, as long as the product comes out good. I think overall the campaign was sufficient. It was fun. It had like a pretty positive critical reception. So I think the campaign was okay.
Yeah.
You definitely can tell that they cut stuff out, because I have like the art book, and the leaks of like the animals and some of the stuff that they're talking about, like you can see pictures of them in the art book, all the concepts that they wanted to put into this game. I just feel like Joseph Staten came in there and was looking at Halo Infinite and said, we gotta move on this thing. So there's certain things we need to cut out that are less important. So obviously that's why it's not there. And like I agree with Sour, like the multiplayer, it was fine when it first came out. Everyone loved the gameplay, everyone was having fun, but giving you 7 months with like no update, and then just a minimal update into season 2 pretty much.
Yep.
That's where the issue comes in, I think, for most people.
Yeah. Because again, I mean, the campaign was good. It wasn't as bad, It was a good campaign, but the multiplayer thing, like you guys were saying, 7 months. That's a long time. I mean, it's way too long. But at the end of the day, if like I always tell myself this, I'm giving them a year, because this happened with Sea of Thieves. When Sea of Thieves came out, the first year wasn't that good. Same thing with Destiny. When Destiny came out, it wasn't that good until the Taken King came out, and then it just started getting better and better with the. I mean, I played the heck out of Taken King, And so I'm just waiting for them to catch the rhythm and get to it. And after they catch that rhythm and get that game, I know it's going to be a pretty good game. So yeah, I hope that Halo keeps on getting better. So yeah, here's my second question. Do you expect this content to ever release? And the third one is, if this content release and with what you've seen on Forge, can Halo come back? That is a question for, let's start with you, Mr. Poom.
I think it will. I think a lot of the stuff will release in time. I mean, I hope so. That's their goal. I think Forge, everything we've seen is just absolutely insane. The suite that they've given people seems it's going to be like the best one in Halo so far. So that's going to bring a ton of content over. But yeah, like the issue is Forge is great when the community is out there making stuff for the game. But the issue is 343 making stuff for the game that they need to focus on as well, right? That's the big thing, because you can't just expect the community to make all of this stuff and then, I mean, for free, essentially, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yep. How about you, Sour? Do you expect this content to release? If this content release and what you have seen in Forge, can Halo come back?
Yeah, well, definitely, I think, first of all, the content, I think it will eventually be released. I mean, Halo Infinite has a 10-year window plan, so I expect them to, continue to release content. And I personally think, and I hope I'm right, that what they did was, they just said, at the end of the day, if we start releasing a little bit here and there, people are going to keep complaining. So let's just let them complain. Let's just put as little content as we can for now, and let's just organize everything and replan. And, people forget that Jason Statham, he came in a year, I think it was a year after, right? Or... he came in late. The point is that he came in and he had to view what was made, what was going on. He needed to restructure. That's why he decided to cut content here and there. So it takes time for a new management to take over, and then you see what he comes up with. Same thing happened with Phil Spencer, for example. When he came into Xbox, you didn't see immediately like, Xbox, it turned a page like that quickly. At first, a lot of people were, were doubting Phil Spencer because he was making a lot of these hard decisions you got to make at the beginning. You got to cut things. You got to cancel projects. And the same thing, happened with Jason Statham. It could at the end of the day, Halo Infinite probably never come back and never be, as great as everyone thought it could be. There's always a possibility, but I think we gotta give him a chance, give him time, because it's a new lead, new management, and things unfortunately take time. We had a pandemic and etc. So yeah.
Yeah, and I think like they look also probably at the Master Chief Collection and how that game released and how terrible of a state that was in.
Yeah.
And that game was able to bounce back. You look at it now, even everyone still plays it and still has a decent player count. So they may be saying they're expecting that since it's such a popular IP, even though they're slowly releasing stuff and people are complaining, that once it all comes to fruition, like people will jump back. But there is that, like you said, there is that worry that maybe it won't, and it would be a shame because Halo Infinite's gameplay is probably the best in Halo.
Oh yeah, the best gameplay for sure.
Yeah.
What about you, Crazy?
Here's the thing. What I think though, and I tell myself this all the time. I mean, we got to give them time because let's talk about all these great games. I'll give you an example. I mentioned Destiny earlier. When you first started playing Destiny, like, it's Destiny, it's cool, okay. But when Taken King came out, it started getting, Same thing with Fortnite. When Fortnite came out, it was just a game. And then all of a sudden, they just decided to make it a battle royale, and it started getting, speeding things up. And there's some seasons where the season is super boring, and there's some seasons where the season is actually pretty good. It happens. And here's another huge example. Let's grab PUBG when it landed on Xbox. Oh dear lord! If you jump on PUBG, oh, I remember PUBG kicking me out, doing a bunch of things. I mean, we were in the middle of a match, all of a sudden I got kicked out, so I had to log in the game back again to land inside the game and just keep on playing. It was insane on the issues that PUBG had. But yeah, this is stuff that happens, with these games. So we got to give it a while to get that rhythm. And I know that Halo, once it gets it in and brings out that good content, yes, it will make a good comeback. As long as they keep on bringing that good content in, it's gonna always make a good comeback, and it's gonna get people back into the game. And that's what people are hoping for, especially the Halo fans. So let's hope that cross fingers that they bring that content in. That's my belief. So I already took out the next subject, and it is Xbox Humble's Game Pass Sizzle Real Sour Blow. What do you think about this, brother?
Oh, well, real quick, the Xbox Humble Game Pass Sizzle Reel is a trailer that came out with 10 games from Humble Game. In there, it includes some games that are coming and some that has already, come to the service of Game Pass. We got Archvale, Bushiden, Chinatown Detective Agency, Dodgeball Academy, Flynn, Son of Crimson, Midnight Fight Express, Next Space Rebel, Signalis, Unpacking, and Unslide. Which Humble make games. They make great small indie games. They're awesome. Are they like a small indie developer publisher or just a developer? Because they make a lot of games.
I think it's a publisher.
Okay, it's a small publisher. Okay, yeah. They make a lot of nice, little indie games. Like there's a few like Unpacking, I played it. Dodgeball Academy, I played a little bit of it. And I heard Midnight Fight Express is awesome. I heard a good thing about Chinatown Detective Agency. So, there's some nice games there. So,
Yep.
Do you have any questions for us, Crazy? Or
Oh man, my question is to you guys. With this Xbox partnership with Humble Games, do you expect more partnerships like this for smaller game studios? And will Humble Games continue to bring their games to Game Pass after this 10-game deal expires? How will this impact smaller game studios and publishers? Let's start with you, Mr. Plume.
I gotta remember all the questions.
yeah, there's a lot of questions. Crazy.
Yeah, my bad.
You blasted him
I'll go with one. With this Xbox partnership and Humble Games, do you expect more partnerships like this for smaller game studios?
Yeah, I definitely. I think Xbox with ID at Xbox and everything, they're very, very into bringing indie games to Game Pass, and just to the Xbox platform. I feel like they probably. I don't know. I'm not an indie developer, but I feel like if you asked indie developers what they thought about ID at Xbox, they probably have a lot of good things to say. So I think they're really going hard on bringing over indie games, and I hope they continue to do it because I've played a bunch of indie games through Game Pass that I love. And the Humble Games one, there's not the one the partnership they just announced. The only one that I really know of is Midnight Fight Express. I have played a little bit of that, and it's a pretty solid game. So yeah, I think they will continue to definitely go out there, and why not, right? You can get these games as a developer. You're getting all your development costs, marketing costs, without the risk, putting it into Game Pass. People who would have never heard about your game are going to play it. Like, how many people would have heard of Midnight Fight Express if it wasn't advertised by Xbox, put into Game Pass? So I think they will continue with this.
Yeah. And Sour Blow, will Humble Games continue to bring their games to Game Pass after this 10-game deal expires?
I mean, I think they, like I said, they have brought games in the past, and they're continuing to bring more. So I think, yes, definitely, because, it seems to be working for them. And like Plume said, he said a very important thing. These games, when they hit Game Pass, you got advertisement from Xbox, and you also have people playing these games, and word of mouth goes around, and if the games are good, people are either gonna play them or they're gonna eventually even purchase them. And a lot of real quick, some of the things that had happened, like for example, I played, I think it was Limbo. Yeah, Limbo was the first game that came into Game Pass, and when I played Limbo, I thought it was a great indie game. I was like, oh, this is a pretty cool indie game. And I told one of my friends, and one of my friends was like, oh, they made this other game called Inside. You should play that one too. That one's pretty good. So I searched it up and I purchased it right there. So, these developers, when they bring games to Game Pass, if the games are good, it could also help bolster not only that game, but also other games that they may develop.
Yep. And so,
What?
wait,
Lots
how
of
would this?
questions.
Yeah, I lost the question though. How would this impact other smaller game studios and publishers? Can I grab this one, guys, real
Yeah,
quick?
yeah, of course. Go ahead.
I mean, all right. So, how will this impact other smaller game studios and publishers? Guys, I mean, I'm gonna tell you something. Thanks to Game Pass and the service type of things, um, it gives me the time to sit down and try these awesome new games that are coming out. Small indie developers and all that stuff. And these are games that I saw them before and I was like, it looks okay, eh. But once it got on Game Pass, I was like, let me try it out. Let me just give it a go. And when I sat down and I tried, I was like, whoa, these guys, wow, what's the studio? And then I was like, For example, Big Map Beru. I was like, these guys made pretty good games. And I started playing all their games, I remember playing Xeno Crisis and then went and grabbed and I started just buying their games. I bought Battle Axe and bought Final Vendetta from their company because I know they make great games. So yeah, the impact on these smaller game studios on Game Pass is actually working because it actually lets me try them out, give them a go, and before I'm like, is it good or is it bad? I'm at least trying them out and enjoying them.
It's that
If I don't like it,
blockbuster
what
effect.
is
Like
what's the
the
called?
blockbuster effect. Like you go grab movies and then you bring it back and get more
Yep,
movies and you
yep.
try games in this scenario.
Yep, I remember when you were a little kid, you grabbed that box and you're like, this looks so cool. Like, for example, Dick Tracy. When you took Dick Tracy home, it was one of the worst games you ever played when you were a kid. Yep, it was. And if anybody says Dick Tracy was great, a great NES game, seriously, you need to play it again because that was a bad game. I mean, you
Uh,
drive around. I'm not gonna start on that, but yeah. And the last question is: third party studios
no,
making
no, no,
AAA.
no. I think you're
Oh,
jumping.
oh, my bad.
Anyway,
All right.
do you got
But either
any?
way, though,
Yeah.
I got the next subject now, which is Xbox Game Pass Family Plan.
All right. I'm gonna introduce that and then I'll take a quick break because I want to give my take on that.
Okay, go for
So
it.
real quick, we have heard already of this supposedly family plan, and we have heard rumors, and then it leaked that they're trying it. I believe it's Colombia, and is it Australia? I don't remember the other country, but I know Colombia is one of them. They're trying,
Colombia,
yeah, and it
yeah.
leaked.
Ireland.
Oh, Ireland.
I
Okay.
just, I just remembered it.
Okay, Ireland and Colombia. And the price leaked to be like 21 something, which translated to dollars is around $25. So, and it allows you up to 5 users. So the branding now came out, or supposedly branding. It's not official yet, I believe, but it's leaking everywhere. It's Xbox Game Pass Friends and Family. So I believe it may be coming sooner than expected. So crazy. If you want, start asking our guests questions and you can answer yourself. I will be back in a little bit. Let
Are
me,
you gonna
let me,
break? Are you gonna break a new record?
yeah, I'm going to try to break a new record again.
You're wait,
Oh dear
wait,
Lord.
you're leaving me with Crazy Louie?
Yeah.
Yes.
So good luck.
Oh man, I get to click on Plume. Oh man, yes. Oh, let's see. What do you think of the naming? If this happen to be the name. What do you think about that name, though?
Friends and family.
Yeah, friends and family.
I like it. I think it's a smart naming convention because most, I guess, other family plans just call it family plan or whatever, right? Like I think Spotify has like family plan and Netflix and whatever. But I think it's good because they know that people are going to get 5 friends together and sign up for this, and they're just like, we're gonna brand that and get people to know that they don't have to worry about us not allowing them to do that. So I think it's good. I like how they are allowing you to sign up with anybody in your country. So I mean, if you have 5 friends in your country, which I think most people do, they're going to be able to just spread it across them, and it's so cheap, right? 5 friends, $5 each. Just the value of the $25 is just insane. So, but I like the branding, what they're doing with friends and family. So I hope it's real. I hope it's not just a leak that doesn't actually happen.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with you because it's actually a way, and I just I'm gonna let myself, I'm gonna, what's it called in Spanish? We say desahog. I'm just gonna let out like a cry right now or a yell of anger. I just hope that other companies copy off of that, especially
Yeah.
Netflix. Friends and family, give us that plan because I like the name of that. I mean, if you want to share, your Game Pass with a friend, you got the option to share it, and it seems decent. And if you also want to share with family, it's pretty cool. Instead of charging you $3 extra like Netflix is doing. So yeah, let's just keep it like that. And yep, Sour Blow just broke a new world record, guys. I timed him. It literally did not take him a minute.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Have him here for the record.
Yep, you. Oh man, Sour, do you think this will help bring more people to the service?
Oh, of course it will. Oh my God. You know how many people, especially like, don't even think about it in the U.S. Just think about it in countries like, smaller countries like, for example, our country, Dominican Republic, Latin America. You got Africa. You got, countries in the Middle East. Countries that maybe they can't afford gaming like many other countries could because they got better jobs, etc. And they could team up 5 buddies and they can pay this service together, and that's definitely going to bring lots of users. And the other thing is, Xbox could take this, Microsoft could take this as an advantage and count every individual user. Instead of counting it as one, they could count it as 5 users, so they can bolster their their numbers that way. So definitely, yeah.
That's I think one of the biggest things out of this entire thing, because Microsoft, $1 trillion company, right? They're so rich that they can just burn whatever to try to build Game Pass. We know they're making like it's sustainable. I know people like to say it's not, but it obviously is. But like the fact that 5 people, $5 a month each, like, and they're going to be able to just push that out to everybody. But the big thing is they're going to go to developers and publishers and say, hey, look, we have grown exponentially more since we've launched this service, and they're just going to get more people putting games onto Game Pass, which will then get even more subscribers until eventually hits that number where they're just like raking in the cash like crazy.
Yeah, and the thing with that is that, sure, like sales on games might go down, but then you have DLCs, you have microtransactions, you got so many other things. Third party, they could bring sequels that don't come to Game Pass, but because you play the previous iteration on Game Pass, you might go ahead and buy the second one because you love the first one so much.
Yeah, for sure. And like, unless they're lying about their numbers in terms of the amount of money people spend once they're subscribed to Game Pass, that's going to continue to grow as well.
I don't think they're lying. Because,
no, I don't think so.
I think of
investors.
Yeah, I think of it of myself too. Also, like, once I got to the Game Pass ecosystem, I just started thinking to myself, I'm like, I'm buying more games than ever. Like, me too. I see a game. Oh, this game has a sale. Let me just buy it. And my back catalog right now, it's insane.
The same here. It's crazy.
Yep. And last but not least, what your thought on the possibilities of the service based on the leaks? $25 for 5 users. Let me do a little bit of math. I'm gonna make a little bit of sound with my calculator here. Let's talk about $25 per month times 12. That we're talking about $300 divided by 5 users. We're talking about is $60 per users. That's actually not that expensive.
Not for the content you're getting on it too, right? It's
Yeah.
crazy. Like I pay what
Crazy.
$17 a month right now just for Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. So imagine with the family plan. Like I'm excited for this thing to release.
Yeah, I mean,
the thing that got me most excited about this family plan is the fact that right now, for example, my son is in the TV. He's playing the Master Chief Collection. But once I'm done with the podcast, if I want to play The Witcher, which it's gonna be perfect timing because he gotta go to sleep. But let's make believe he doesn't have to go to sleep. Either I play Witcher and he has to disconnect, or he either I either decide not to play, or I have to pay for a second account, which it's kind of a bummer.
There is one, like my wife uses Game Pass too, and we both can use it at the same time, but only if you set your home console, then she logs in, I believe, on the home console, or whoever else logs in on the home console, and then you go on the other console. But the caveat to that, which I learned last year, which really pissed me off, was that you can only change your home console a certain amount of times, and then once you've changed it, I think it's like 4 times, you have to wait until the next year to be able to change it again. So like I got screwed over on that after, I think it was like last November or whatever.
I can do that right now with the other Xbox, but the thing is, I already did it with my boss because I got him to buy an Xbox.
Yeah.
And even though he doesn't use it that much, I want to at least wait the year before because I kind of lend him my games and all that for at least for a year to get him into the ecosystem, etc.
Family plan will solve all these problems.
Oh yes.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I said, $60 per user. That's not expensive. It's good. It's good. It's a good price. I mean, $300 per year, but $60 per user. That's a nice price. It's like you paying for gold for 5 users, pretty much. That's nice.
Yeah.
Good price.
Crazy. Before you pull off the hat again, can you give a quick? Before you announce it, then can you give a quick shout out to the chat? We got.
I was gonna do that. Let's go and do a quick shout out to the chat because we have this chat rolling, and they're talking about your world record. If you did not read, you actually broke the. Yep, they were talking about it. No joke. You left, and they were talking about it, and I was just laughing.
It's hard for me to keep up with the chat today because I'm running different things right now, but.
Let us start with Carolina Gamer 28. Welcome. What's up, brother? Happy to see you here. Oh, my shower brother, Mr. Stuff Sean, who I have a video which I got to post in Forza last week. He literally bumped into me and literally made my car flip because every time we play Forza week with these guys, something always happens. Mr. Grasso, hello. Happy to see you here too. John G, how are you doing, brother? Happy also to see you here too, brother, joining us and enjoying the show. Let me keep on going down. All right, we got Carolina. Bernard Hayes went to bed. Good night, Bernard Hayes. I hope you have a good sleep, brother. Keep on going down. Let's keep on going. Jedi Knight Peter. Hello, Mr. Jedi Knight Peter. You said Halo roadmap today. Man, thank God we're getting a roadmap. That's some good extra news for the Halo thing. Yep. And happy to see you here, brother Jedi Knight Peter. And yes, Melania is hard to beat. I totally agree with you. She's always hard. Elden Ring. Internal Shaddai, mi hermano de Puerto Rico. ¿Cómo tú estás, mi querido hermano? Qué bueno verlo usted por aquí también. It's Timmy. What's up, Timmy? Oh, man, I love seeing Timmy here. He's always saying what's up to everybody everywhere he goes. Let's keep on going down the list. And there's, let me see, who else is here? Mr. General C, hello, how are you doing, sir? We need to catch up to that Hunt Showdown one day. You got to keep on playing that game, man. It was a lot of fun playing with you, man. Yep, we lost the battle, but hey, we took down a couple soldiers. We had a lot of fun. Great fun with you. Barely Making Rent was also with us playing the Hut Showdown. It was a lot of fun playing with Barely Making Rent. He's a good shooter, guys. So watch out for him out there in the hunt. Alright, let's keep on going down. Who else is here? I think that's about it. Are we done, Sour? Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So now, third party small studio making AAA blockbuster looking games. I mean, let's go down this list. We got Atomic Heart, which looks beautiful and fantastic. We got Black Myth Wukong, which they gave us an 8-minute exclusive gameplay. That was another thing that was really amazed. I mean, Wukong's looking great. Every time I see it, it's looking better and better. Wo Long Fallen Dynasty. Is this the actually first gameplay trailer of that game, Sour?
Yeah. Because remember,
great.
they showed it, I think it was it at E3? Well, not E3, but, you know, the Xbox showcase. Yeah. And then now they showed the gameplay, which it was surprising. They showed it after Gamescom, right? They didn't show it at Gamescom.
Yeah, they didn't show it at Gamescom, no. And then we have a Plague Tale Requiem, which to be honest, I saw that trailer with commentary. I was like, I'm not going to watch the commentary. I already seen enough trailer of that. I was like, I don't want any more spoilers because that game has got me. I cannot wait till it comes out. When is it? October 18th. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And Lies of P. Oh, man. Lies of P, the Pinocchio game. Fighting his way through Souls-type game. And High on Life, we got a 10-minute gameplay, which looks a lot of fun. It really does. I mean, I'm really amazed with that game. I know you guys are probably as happy as I am. So here is my question to you all. With what we are seeing from small studios and small developers, do these bigger developers need to step things up? Let's start with you, Sourbloww.
Oh, honestly, right now I'm more amazed at, you know, not all indie developers, but some of them, you know, AA, etc. I'm more amazed at smaller devs than these big, like, AAA studios up to right now. Because the AAA studios, it's like almost like they're doing more of the same. And they're not, like, it's almost like they're not trying to innovate. Where you see these, like, other smaller developers, like, if you look at High on Life, for example, you see the game is like completely different to anything other. You don't know, you know, how to describe. You see Lies of P. That game looks amazing. Plague Tale, you know, I played the first one, which was amazing. And this one, you know, it looks so good. And then you got the Wukong, the Wulong, which they both look amazing. Atomic Heart looks like freaking Bioshock, but like on another level. It looks insane. So, and there's, you know, I'm sure there's many other games that we're missing, because there's so many games like that maybe, you know, we didn't take into consideration at the beginning of the generation, or we didn't even expect any of these games, but, you know, they're looking pretty good. And then you have games that, you know, they might look good, but they don't impress that much. You know, and maybe we expected more from these AAA studios.
I'm agreeing with you there more, Mr. Sourbloww. How about you, Mr. Plume? With what we are seeing from small studios and small developers, do these bigger developers need to step things up?
I think so a little bit. I think the big developers play it very, very safe. I mean, you look at all of. So I'm playing Saints Row right now. The Volition, whatever they're called, they're pretty big, right? Like, I would consider them a decently big developer. It's a very fun game, but it is a very safe game, and it's like nothing new or innovative. And you take a look at like a game like Elden Ring that came out this year, which was probably the most innovative / different style of game that people played in a very long time, because most people didn't play a lot of the Souls games before jumping into Elden Ring, and just how excited everybody was about that. I think that there's got to be more like risks in games like that coming out from the big AAA developers, rather than just like the safe route of like the open world and going to this location, doing this, going to this, you know, having all that type of stuff. So I think, yeah, they got to step it up a little bit. The reason they don't step it up a little bit is because they know certain things are going to make all the money. I mean, We just got the third release of The Last of Us coming out next week, so that's the only thing why I don't foresee a lot of these developers taking huge risks going forward.
Oh Lord, let's not get started on The Last of Us.
Yeah, it's just a timely example.
Yep. Oh man, I would say something. I mean, after I seen all this gameplay, for example, Atomic Heart, I was really amazed the way it looks. And I've seen this gameplay trailer. I think I saw it like a couple, was it 2 or 3 years ago? I saw it. I don't remember, but I remember that I saw a gameplay trailer on it, and I was like, wow, this looks amazing. I mean, robots and stuff like that. And each time they come up with a new trailer, it looks fabulous. Then you got Wukong, which, I mean, just leaves me speechless. Wolong, can't wait to see more about it. Plague Tale Requiem, oh man. I mean, I'm gonna tell you something. I just hope that they keep the same intensity they kept with the last one. You know, since she used to, well, Rock now she's using what's it called, the crossbow? Crossbow, is that what it's called? Yeah, crossbow. So she's using the crossbow. I hope they still keep that same intensity. You know, when you gotta grab that crossbow, you know, the shoot is same thing with the flinging the rock. You know, that was pretty intense when you had guys coming up to you to get you.
She's also, I think she's also gonna use the fling and the rock also. So,
yeah, she is.
Yeah.
No,
there was a scene that she used it.
But she has an upgrade though. She has a crossbow, so it would be a lot more easier to take targets down. But yeah, remember when the fling, you had to fling it? Oh man, that was crazy. But
yeah,
but that game is just fabulous. Liza P. I saw something in Gamescom. There was a person asking him, you know, like behind the scenes, they were asking him with a microphone, hey, how did you find Liza P? And they said that they find like the gameplay a little bit stiff. I watched a little bit of it, and for it to be a Souls game, like for example the rolling and stuff like that, it's still a little bit stiff. So I hope that the team of Liza P sits down and probably fixes a little bit more, because it looked like he was wearing a really heavy armor, which he wasn't, because he's just wearing clothes. You know, it wasn't like a heavy armor. So every time he rolled, it looked like a little bit stiffy.
Well, let me ask you this though: who did the gameplay? Because honestly, no disrespect for them, but if it was IGN, unfortunately, like every time they do a gameplay, oh my god!
No. This is a person that was in Gamescom with the microphone. He was asking the person, "Hey, how do you feel? You know, with while playing Liza P?" And it was just random people just answering the question. You know. Not nobody from IGN, nothing. It was just people that were tried out the game, and they were giving examples like, yeah, I found it a little bit stiff, you know. But after I saw that, I was like, I see where they get into. So yeah, they should probably fix that. When they fix that, it's gonna be a really good game. And it looks good though. It looks a lot of fun, and I can't wait to play it. And last but not least, High on Life. Oh man, that's the game. Oof, just breathless, speechless. It's just such a beautiful game. Just the detail of it. And do they need to? Third developers step it up. Yeah, I mean, I'm loving how these indie developers are making games. They're making them cooler. I mean, what was the last game that came on PlayStation? Was it Kena? Kena's the name? Kena?
Yeah, Kena. Yeah.
Kena. Yeah, that's another beautiful game that came out. It looks
amazing. It looks like a pixel art.
Yeah.
If you look, for example, look at the Medium, for example.
Yeah.
Sure, the Medium, you know, graphically it could have looked much better, but they took an approach that I'd never seen before. You know, they rendering two worlds at the same time. That was pretty cool, the concept, and I thought it was a pretty solid game. And there's many other games that, you know, they took, like, you know, indie games that took, like, really, you know, they kind of took an idea and they really, like, try their best to be innovative. Like, I played Bright Memory Infinite, which was one developer. I was like, wait, what? One person did this? Imagine if you gave him like a team. Like, what can this guy do? And you have Tunic. Tunic was amazing too. Even though, you know, you see the graphics and stuff, but the things you can do on it, it's basically like Zelda meets Elden Ring. It was pretty cool.
Incredible game. One of my favorite games of the year.
Yeah.
Look at that store. I mean, you played it. I haven't played it yet. I'm gonna get to it since I beat Elden Ring.
It's good too.
Death's Door is another amazing game. It looks
Death's Door, yeah. Death's Door is incredible.
It looks beautiful.
Yeah.
It looks beautiful. It's another game that so beautiful. And
you guys all missed the game of the show though.
Oh, what's that?
Sonic Frontiers.
Oh, I was gonna get to it.
I,
Yeah, because
I was
you know what?
I was trying
You
to
know
let it
what?
slide because if if Everborn Saga comes to the chat and he hears that,
Yep.
he's gonna take
He's
over.
gonna he's gonna say game of the year, and yep, it won't be. I just man, I'm telling you, if that game gets a 10, oh dear lord.
It
I
looks
mean,
good, man. I don't know, like
no,
people are like
Yeah,
it looks good.
no, it
It
looks
looks good.
good. It looks
Yeah.
good. It didn't look good at
I
the
mean-
beginning, but right now it
Yeah.
did. And I said it on the chat on Twitter. If Sonic for some reason gets Game of the Year, you guys better just quit Twitter because Everborn Saga is not gonna leave none of us alone, especially you,
no,
Dark.
No, he's gonna come after everybody. But hey, I'm gonna tell you something though. And here's another thing though. When that person, I forgot who that person is though. I gotta do my research again. Sorry guys, if I could find the video, I'll probably later on post it beneath here on how he asked about the Liza P, and he also asked about Sonic Frontiers because there was a place where you can sit down and play Sonic Frontiers, and everybody
Yeah.
gave positive reviews. They were
I
saying,
I actually
"Man,
saw that video, the
They-
one for Sonic
yeah.
Frontier. There was only like
Yeah.
one person that he and he didn't say it was bad, but he didn't find it like
he
that great.
Didn't find it.
He gave it like a 6 or 7, but then everyone else gave it like 8, 9s, and stuff like that. And someone even
Yeah.
gave it a 10.
And
Yeah,
it's
it-
releasing a day before God of War, so they're probably pretty confident in the game itself.
Yeah,
So it's gonna be like overshadowed a lot just by like, I don't think developers are afraid of God of War because I've made videos talking about it because God of War is limited to PlayStation users and that's already a small amount of people who play exclusives. But I think like PlayStation is gonna spend so much on marketing trying to flood everything out of the water leading up to God of War, and Sonic Frontiers is just gonna release day before it. So
before we move on, real quick,
Yeah, I was gonna.
do you think the whole we're gonna talk about that later on, but the Bloomberg interview with Phil Spencer, it opened up with a very controversial clip where it said Sonic was the home of Xbox. I don't know if you saw that.
I must have.
You missed it.
I must have missed it, but I hope so.
and some people were like talking about that, and eventually Bloomberg, I think they fixed the video now, so now if you go back, they took that part out. But
Yeah, because
I saw it initially, and it did say Sonic the home of Xbox. Like it mentioned other games, but it also mentioned Sonic. And my thing is, of course there could be a possibility, but what if it was just done strategically? Because maybe they want to help Sonic on sales and stuff like that, and they know that the fanboy is. How's the fanboy community?
Yeah.
And being that,
Yeah.
that
They have the strategic partnership with Sega, so maybe
yeah.
something's in the works. Like that's something people have been speculating about since that announcement came out. But imagine they did get Sonic Frontiers like into Game Pass in November. It'd be huge.
I hope so, but I don't think so.
Yeah.
No, I mentioned earlier today in Dutch's show. I mean, and maybe that we probably could get that announcement coming tomorrow since they were going to Japan. So let's cross our
Oh, it's
fingers,
tomorrow? Isn't it?
Is it tomorrow? Yeah,
I think it's
tomorrow.
September 15 or something.
September 15th is Tokyo Game Show.
Yeah.
Oh my God! I thought it was tomorrow.
No, no.
Where the heck am I lately? Oh dear Lord. Sorry guys. I'm kind of lost lately.
But
It's me,
but what if they?
It happens to me.
Let me ask you this: what if instead
up?
of the game they bring like extra content or something like that, or something they add something if you're a Game Pass user? Do you think that would be controversial, or do you think people would just look at it like, okay, fine?
I think it'll be controversial because of what just recently happened with Hogwarts Legacy and how PlayStation has an exclusive quest, and everyone kind of complained about that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So if there's exclusivity to Xbox, yeah, people are definitely going to make a fuss about it because if you don't, you're kind of hypocritical. If you think one's bad and the other one's fine.
Yeah,
right, type
yeah,
of thing.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
The thing is that one side always kind of does it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Dark has a really good question here. Could we see a partnership in the near future where the big publisher work with Sony or Microsoft and make day one exclusive to the service and take risks via that business model. Dark, I'll be honest with you. Yes, I could actually see that there could be a studio that says a big publisher says, hey, let's take this risk. Let's put it on both services, see how it goes. Because again,
Yeah.
um, every time you put a game on Game Pass, you're doing something. Like I'm pushing it out there for you to come out and try. Like for example, there's this game that was mentioned earlier that General C was talking about. Oh, I forgot about the name of the game. You remember that game where you get paint the statues and stuff in that game? I was like, oh wow, that's a pretty cool game, and it's like kind of a risk game, where you move the figures. What's the name of that
Moonbreakers.
game? Is it Moonbreakers?
Sorry, they're talking about the Gamescom game that they showed
Yeah,
off.
the game's coming.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it's called Moonbreakers. That one looked cool, where you could paint
Moonbreakers.
them
Yeah,
and stuff in the game.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. That type of game, for example, you put it on Game Pass, right? You put that game on Game Pass, and you try it out. You're like, whoa, this is cool. I remember the guy when he was talking about it was kind of nervous. He was trying to sell the game because he didn't know how he was gonna sell it. I saw it and I was like, if they actually decide and put this on Game Pass, it will actually be a good sell because people are gonna try this and be like, yeah, let me go paint this, let me see this how it goes, and they'll probably enjoy that gameplay because it does look a lot of fun. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a cool strategy game. from
Yeah,
my
I
point.
sent I sent that trailer to my friend right away when I saw it. I think it looks pretty
Yeah.
good. I'm pretty
Yeah,
excited.
Good
I
job.
think it looks good. Me myself, as someone that I'm trying to do trailers, etc., and all that.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's games, and I was talking with someone. There's games that you can't show them in a traditional trailer because if you show them like a traditional trailer, the game unfortunately won't sell itself. So you gotta find different creative way of how to make that game sell. Because, for example, if you have an educational game, if you should just show like a regular trailer, what's that gonna do like for the consumer? You gotta show what's the game potential. So you gotta find different creative ways. And Game Pass is actually one because people could just try it there, and if they like it, they can just buy it.
Yeah. And there's another question here from Jedi Knight Peter. But we're gonna answer that question right now because we do have actually that question. It says, "Do you think if Wo Long is a success, Microsoft will partner with teenagers to bring back Ninja Gaiden, or will they buy?"
Oh wow, he
Um,
had that same question. That
yep,
question I actually put it there because
yeah.
one of our
But he's asking if
community
they would
members.
actually buy it.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. If they
So what
actually
you
would
think?
buy
What
it
you
though.
think, Crazy? Let's start with you on that one.
Oh, me? What would I think? I hope they do, though, because again, all these cool partnerships and all this stuff that's going on, it helps bring back all those old cool IPs that need to be brought back or remade. For example, I love the Ninja Gaiden game, the ones that were made for, I think it was 360, right? Was it for 360 in Xbox? Yeah, it was for 360. I love those Ninja Gaiden games, and I hope that they do bring them back. And it's a game that is really missed. It was a lot of fun. The second one especially was freaking awesome. I loved it to death. And so yeah, I hope that if it does become successful, that they do actually partner up or they actually buy, Team Ninja, and bring it to Xbox. How about you, Mr. Plume?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I love Ninja Gaiden. Actually, they're on Game Pass, and you play through them. They look great with some of the enhancements and stuff that you get from like the older versions with the backwards compatibility. But yeah, I think if it does well, they'll continue to partner with them. I think that they definitely should think about it, especially from some of the news we are hearing right now and today and yesterday, where Sony is increasing their stake in From Software. So
Yeah,
who knows if that's going to mean that they're going to try to keep more From games off of Xbox. They need games like this on
yeah.
the platform because they're so popular. So they if it goes well, hey, you never know. You never know.
Yeah, totally agree with you there. Totally agree with you there. So, last but not least, Embracer looking to make a deal with Disney on Marvel licensing beyond Avengers. Sour blow. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, you have a question for or no?
Oh, you want me to ask? Okay, I thought you were gonna describe, but here we go. What
Oh, you want?
IPs would you like Embracer Group to get, and what studios would you like it to make it? Let's start with you, Sour blow.
Okay, what IPs would I like Embracer Group to get?
Yeah.
And what studio would I like to make it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if I take the safe approach, and I would say Crystal Dynamic, the studio I will want to make the game, and you know, being that they make Tomb Raider, maybe we can see a Black Widow game. I think that would be pretty interesting from them, and that would be kind of a safe approach, where I know they can make a game in that genre that that could look good, play good, and be successful. Um, but if I wanted, the game that I would want, probably would be an X-Men game, definitely.
How about you, Mr. Plume?
I don't know. This one's tough. You took my studio, Crystal Dynamics. The X-Men would be cool, but I was thinking like, I don't know, if we like an Iron Man game would be cool. Maybe Captain America.
Oh, Captain America would be cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Even like I used to love Gambit as a kid. It'd be cool if they just made like a Gambit game. I don't even know if he's still popular anymore, but it'd be really awesome to see a Gambit game.
Unfortunately, he's not that popular, but he was my favorite X-Men too.
Yeah. So.
Why nobody likes Gambit? They gotta make a game about Gambit. No?
Yeah, it'd be cool.
That'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool. And also, do you think the Avengers IP can improve and flourish more with Embracer Group behind?
What do you think, Crazy? What do you think?
I don't know. I played it for a little bit. I think it could. Just not trying to be a little bit, mean, but I think it could. I think it could because
it's not very confident, Crazy.
Yeah. Well, I'll change your opinion real quick.
All right, go for it. Give me an idea though, because
I'll change your opinion real quick.
I'm grinding my teeth here, trying not to.
The thing with Square Enix was that they were never behind any of the of the Western studios, so they weren't really like all in. They were like, here, take this IP, make a game, and let's see how the game does, and if the game does good, maybe for the sequel, we will put a little bit more extra. So there was never like that initiative. Embracer, on the other hand, that's something that they're doing. They're buying all these recognizable IPs or studios that own IPs, and they're trying to bring them back, and they're trying to make them successful again. So I think if they make a deal, even if it's, for example, that Avenger game, that a lot of people that I have heard, they tell me that the story was great, but then the multiplayer wasn't that good, and then there were other elements that they didn't like. I did play Guardians of the Galaxy, which I loved. I was actually surprised. I from the trailers that didn't really bought me, but when it came to Game Pass, I played it. I loved that game. So I think the studios got potential, both Eidos and Crystal Dynamic. We know they can make great games, and if Embracers are they're really behind this, then definitely I think they can improve.
But here's the thing that got me. I'm gonna go on a little hate rant, right?
Okay, go for it, Silent.
Oh, Silent? Oh, you want me to? Hello, I am Silent Cypher. I can do his voice as Metal Gear.
No, stop it. You sound nothing like him.
Yeah, I sound like a $5.99 version of it, but yeah. But either way, though, from the dollar store, yeah. But I remember when that game came out and they announced that Spider-Man was only going to come out for PlayStation. Like, that was the biggest mistake they could have done. I mean, I would just let it be for everybody everywhere, because a lot of fans of Spider-Man got mad. That probably hurt a lot the sales on that game, because there are people that are fans of Spider-Man and you're not getting on Xbox. But like, why the hell would I gonna buy this? That greedy thing. I had a couple friends who were looking forward to this, but once they heard that Spider-Man was,
but that was Square decision.
That was Square decision. That was the thing that was bad. They should have just let it be everywhere, and instead of just being on the Sony side, that would have helped a little bit. But as soon as Spider-Man came out, it was just horrible. Spider-Man was one of the worst characters out there. But yeah, I you know, but I hope though. I hope they can do something for it because it's not a bad game. It's got a lot of potential. You just gotta have the good team, to back it up to give the love it needs. Because again, there's not a bad game. If you only make it bad if you want it to be bad. Now, if you put love into it, if you put passion into it, then you can make it better. So yeah,
I don't exactly agree with that at all, but like 100%. Like part of it, yes, but then there's games like what's that game called? Like 7 Days, something like that.
oh no, that's not talking about that. No, that's the studio that literally gave up on that. Yeah.
But anyway, Plume, do you
Yeah.
have any take on it? Do you
Yeah.
believe
I,
in
I haven't
embracing?
put a single minute into the Avengers. I don't know how bad it actually is, but everything I've seen, it doesn't look great, and especially like what you said about Spider-Man, like the videos of his animations and stuff. That, like
Oh, dear Lord.
you just watch those and you just can't stop laughing at how bad it is. I don't know how they messed that up so badly, but I feel like if the game can potentially, I guess, get better, but if it's broken from the ground up, they would literally have to scrap it all and then just kind of move on. So I don't know how bad
Yeah.
the gameplay
Yeah.
actually is on it, but I don't know. The Embracer Group, they own so many things, and they've pretty much said they are allowing people to kind of work independently. So I don't know how much more they would push them to change it and all that type of stuff. So I don't know. I don't know how much hope there is for the game, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's
That's
just
it.
wait and see what happens because really,
All
we
right.
just have to
I
wait and
think
see. All right. It's time for me and Sour Bro to play rock, paper, scissors.
no rock paper scissors.
We're
It's
not-
time for the 3-course meal, which is our main topic, and
Uh-huh.
we're gonna move directly right into that, and we're gonna jump into a topic that was pretty hot, and we got Sony hikes prices of the PS5 almost everywhere except United States.
Lucky.
Yeah. So Sony increased the prices in the UK, in Europe, in Japan, in China, Australia, Mexico, and our guest country, Canada, which, whoa, they're pretty high. I saw the prices and I was like, whoa. We have a statement here from Jim Ryan, which he said, we're seeing high global inflation rates as well as adverse currency trends impacting consumers and creating pressures on many industries. Based on these challenges, economic condition, SIE has made the difficult decision to increase the recommended retail price of the PlayStation 5 in selected market across Europe, Middle East, and Africa, Asia, Latin American, as well as Canada. Just a few examples. Europe, the PS5 with the Blu-ray disc went from $4.99 to $5.99.
No. It went to $550.99.
No, for $549.99. Sorry, euros. This is euros.
Yeah, it was before 500, right? 499.99 euros, and now it's 549.99 euros.
Yeah.
The digital version is 449.99 now, and before it was 399.99.
Yeah.
In the UK it was 479.90. Oh wait, before 449.99. Now it's 479.99 pounds. The digital version is 389.99.
Okay.
Now.
Well, let's not give all
Yeah.
of them. Let's
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
Yeah,
If you go through all of them, it'll last all night. Yeah.
I'm gonna jump real quick. I'm gonna torture our guests. Let's jump to Canada, which was
Yep.
$629.99 before, and now it's $649.99 Canadians. And the digital version was $499.99, and now it's $519.99 Canadians. So
Canadian dollar.
Canadian dollars. So yeah, we also had a great article from our friend Jess Corden, which we basically uh, captured the whole information about this whole price hike, and then he added the response from Xbox,
Microsoft.
from Microsoft, yes, and yeah, from Microsoft, which they said, let me see.
They said in a statement to Windows Central, a Microsoft spokesperson confirmed that there are no plans to raise the price of the Xbox Series X or the Xbox Series S, reiterating that they will remain at their baseline RRPs in various currencies, including USD, GBP, and Euro.
Correct.
That's what they said.
Yeah. Well, the actual statement was, we're constantly evaluating our business to offer our fans great gaming options. Our Xbox Series S suggests retail remains at $299, and the Series X at $499. And then we had another, or was it in the same article? Hold on.
No, we have
Oh no, a different article. Yeah. Nintendo also respond in a statement to Eurogamer, and the statement was basically no plan to increase the trade price of its hardware.
Yep.
They had a statement from Mr. Furikawa, which stated, while we cannot commit on pricing strategy, we currently do not have any plans to change the price of our hardware due to inflation or increased procurement costs in each country. We will determine our future pricing strategy through careful and continuous deliberation. While the final price to the consumer is always determined by retailer, Nintendo has no plan to increase the price of its hardware. So I'm gonna begin with you, Crazy.
All right, go for it.
What do you think? Sorry,
I would like to start. Why don't we start torturing our guest here that he's from Canada? You know, he got that price increase. We can start with them because I know he's gonna go on a loud rant because if he hasn't gotten his PS5, I know he's gonna be pretty mad.
Okay, well let's start with you, Bloom. What do you think of this move from Sony? How do you love it? And once you're done with that statement, Crazy, can you give us your answer also?
I will, buddy. How do you love it? What do you mean how do you love it? What do you think about this move, though? How can he love it, though? I would hate it if I was him.
Luckily, I already have a PS5.
Oh, good news.
But the bad news still with getting a PS5 in Canada was even before this raise, it was $30 more than the Xbox Series X, which makes absolutely no sense other than Sony knows that the demand is so high they can charge anything and people are going to go out and buy it. I mean, I don't see why they would raise the prices in these various regions other than the fact that they are being pressed hard by investors, by boardroom executives and all the stuff that their bottom line, even though they're making record profits and they've been making a profit off of the PS5 since last year, it just isn't high enough for them. I think like they see what's going on in the gaming industry. They see Xbox with Game Pass. They see it growing. They know that they failed to move their strategy at all at the beginning of this generation and they're lagging behind. And they got to do something to keep making more money. And I guess this is just like their last ditch effort to keep making more money before they fully transition over to like pretty much everything like Game Pass and Xbox is doing. I don't know. The price is ridiculous. I don't know. $650 for a PS5 Blu-ray version.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts. Like, you think about the PS3 when they launched that and the outrage people had over the prices. There should be like similar outrage right now with these prices. I don't know why people are just like, oh, this is okay. We're going to go out and buy it for one reason or another. And it's still, like I said, I made a video talking about this.
Yeah.
PS5 is a big, ugly console. And it's just like if it's under my TV and I look at it every day and I'm like, what is this behemoth sitting under my TV that like I can't even move because then I'll have to screw in the stand on sit it vertically. It's just, I don't know. Anyways, I'm not a fan of the price ranges, price hike that they did.
Yep. I mean, seriously, it's a big console, and yeah, I get to that point. But here's the thing, though, what I still don't get why they did that, and it's just something that I keep grabbing my head because they earlier this year literally came out and said, "Hey, from PS5 we're making profits. From the console we are making profits." They did say that. And it's a question it's something I tell everybody, and they were telling me, yeah, what kind of profits? I was like, the only way you make profits is if let's say you make $10, you're making $10 off the console. So yeah, profit is a profit. Doesn't matter how much it is. The word profit means you're making money. You're not losing money. But okay. I still don't understand why that move. And not only that, after they announced the price hike, they are making it more lighter. Which right now,
Yeah.
we are scratching our heads.
We're gonna get to that, Chris. We're gonna get to.
Oh,
that.
okay. Okay. But okay, we're gonna get to that. But on my point of view, though, on the price hike, it's insane. Because let's say I'm gonna give you guys a quick scenario, and give you guys a quick thought. Let's say, like after a month of this going on, and Sony has not pulled back and say, "Hey, we're gonna lower the price." Let's say what happens if Microsoft decides to say, "Hey, let me drop $50 on both consoles." What the heck do you think is gonna happen to them?
Yeah, that's a scenario Microsoft needs to be evaluating right now.
Yeah.
They have to be. They definitely are. Like I there's no way they're sitting there just looking at this and thinking, how can they not capitalize on it? They're gonna try to capitalize on it.
Yep.
The thing is, believe it or not, like the demand is actually that high for the PS5. So
Yep.
they're just thinking that like the average consumer who hasn't been following this stuff, they're gonna go into the store. Christmas is coming. Their kid wants a PS5. They're not even gonna know that the PS5 went up $20 or $30 or whatever it was, $20-$30. They're just gonna pay that amount because the demand's so high, and all they're hearing is they can't get one because the supply is so low. So they got to go buy it right now. They got to capitalize on picking up PS5 when it's available. So Sony's gonna make the money off of this price hike, but it's just like it's absurd. And they say inflation. I mean, inflation's terrible in Canada, but I mean, inflation's bad in the United States as well. Why didn't they raise it there?
Yeah.
Only thing I can think of is the sales are probably so close that they don't. I don't know. Maybe they don't want to risk losing some market share in the United States. I'm not sure. It's a hard thing to understand.
Because here's the thing, though, and it's something that we've been talking about lately. Look at the catalog of 2023, just in Game Pass in general. Look at that catalog, right? You got that catalog about a whole bunch of games, third-party games. We got a couple first-party studios coming out in Game Pass just alone with that. Imagine that next year they say, hey, with this catalog, why don't we just do a price drop, see how it goes? Man, they dropped $50 on both them babies.
Yeah.
It's going to be crazily insane. I mean, it's going to be freaking, it's going to drive, I don't know what they're going to do. They're going to or they're going to lower prices or something, or they're preparing to lower the price, because if MS decides to do that, especially next year with that catalog coming up, that's going to be crazy. That's going to be crazy. So
here's the thing real quick. Let me add. I think the reason why, Xbox might decide not to do it at the end of the day, because at the end of the day is how much can they capitalize? Because, you it's not like you can go, sure, you can find the Series S, but once Christmas come, how are they gonna meet the demands? Like if there was a way that they can completely cause like, for example, if you go to the store, right, and you go to buy your console, and you see $50 less, well, it's gonna be $100 less on the Xbox. Of course, if you don't care about PS5 exclusive, or you're not a fanboy, you're gonna take the cheaper price, right? It's $100 less. But then the thing is, if they don't have enough, if they can't create enough of these units, at the end of the day, they gotta evaluate how much of a capitalized was this movement, because they are gonna lose money, but also what was the difference? Because at the end of the day, once they sell all the Xbox, when the people go to the store, they still want a console. Then they're gonna start getting the PlayStation. So the PlayStation, if they still sell the same amount they wanted to sell, and the Xbox sells all their units at the, it's not gonna be that much of a capitalize. I believe.
But here's the thing though, Sour. In the Bloomberg interview, Phil said that by next year, 2023, he actually said that there's going to be consoles where you can just walk in and pick it up a store. I think.
Oh yeah, long run, yeah, 2023.
Yeah,
but I'm talking about like this December right now.
Oh no, this December, no, of course not. I'm not talking about. I'm not saying doing it now, because of course, if Microsoft goes ahead and does this right now, you're gonna see right away that Sony will come back and drop.
Yeah,
they're just letting it roll.
They will probably back down. I mean, it'd be like, a discount and put it back to the original price.
Exactly. Of course they will. I mean, that's
the sale.
That's the thing, though. They're doing this to see the reaction. They're pitching a ball to see if or Microsoft will strike out or they will actually hit a home run. And so Microsoft said, okay, you guys can raise your price, because imagine that. Look at their response on what they say. Hey, we're not going to raise the price, though. We're not going to raise it. We're just going to keep chill right here. We're just going to keep it the same price. And Nintendo did too. And so, like I said again, not this year, but next year, once that Game Pass catalog rolls out with all those third parties and first party games, and once they once they got supply in there and for demand, and they actually say, hey, let's drop this price. I mean, that's gonna be a huge bump to Sony right there. It's gonna leave a mark, and they can actually do it because they're already losing money on it. Why not lose $50 more? They wouldn't care, as long as they get that service up. They will risk it.
Well,
I would risk it.
Let me ask you this, Crazy.
What's up?
If the PS5 continued to sell, as well as it's been doing, could then Microsoft eventually and Nintendo, change their mind and be like, maybe we should, bump the prices up?
I think they wouldn't. I think Microsoft would not do it, because if they do it, they will actually lose the rhythm they're getting. And right now they got to keep up with that rhythm, and they got to get people to that console, to that hardware, because again, at the end of the day, that's the only thing that pretty much makes them compete, is that plastic hardware right there, and make it the best game platform out there. So like I said, once that catalog rolls out of everything that's coming into Game Pass, and they say, hey, let's drop the price, see how it goes. Oh man, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be a bump for Sony right there.
I think Xbox, like, if they raise their prices, which I absolutely don't think they will do, it would just like go against everything they've been trying to establish this generation, and it would cause way too much backlash. And like, you look at the price of the PS5 in Canada. I talk about Canada because I live here. Specifically, it's already $50 more than the Xbox Series X. They don't even need to decrease the price of the Xbox. They literally just have to bundle and market Call of Duty with the Xbox, and like, that's gonna just destroy anybody walking into the store or whatever looking for a console, and they're trying to choose between spending $50 more for a PS5 or just getting a Series X or S and getting Call of Duty bundled with it, essentially. Like, I don't know how PlayStation's people are gonna react to that, but I think PlayStation is trying to cash in right now before all of this stuff starts rolling out.
Yes, I totally agree with you, because speaking of that, there is a newer, lighter PS5 on sale in Australia, according to Press Start. The Australian site reports that the CFI 1200 model, first listed by Japanese retailer, is currently available for purchase in stores. Both disc and disc-less PS5 models are lighter than the original counterparts, with the new digital PS5 weighing a little over 5 pounds and the new disc version weighing about 8.5 pounds. That means the new model of the PS5 weighs about a pound and half a less than the original, which is just shy of 10 pounds, and less than the digital PS5 did at launch, which weighed about 8.6 pounds. This is a second revision in the first revision, which also had a weight cut. Austin Evans opened the console and compared them, which we actually did see from that video, that they literally, what was it? They took out Sour. You said it the other day. I keep forgetting.
They shrunk the heatsink and they took the copper out.
The copper out, yep. In the video, we found out that the fan was changed and also the heatsink got shrunk and got rid of the copper. So the question is, do you expect a major change in the cooling system of the console? If so, are you concerned for the longevity of the hardware? Let's start with you, Sarablo. Longevity is my bad. Longevity, yeah. So let's start with you, Sarablo, since you're the technician there. What do you expect will happen there?
I hope I'm just saying I'm just gonna say I hope not that they didn't make any major changes like they did last time. And the thing with these changes is that a lot of people are like, oh, the PS5 is not gonna burn, and of course no, it's not gonna burn. They do tests on these consoles, but the thing is they might stress test them for a period of time, but they can't stress test them for years and years. So the thing is, how long, what's the longevity of these consoles if they keep changing the cooling system, which these systems get pretty hot. I mean, they got AMD Ryzen technology CPU, and they got these RDNA GPUs, which they get pretty hot. And you got the SSD, which are Gen 4, which they also get pretty hot. And changing all these these parts, the cooling system, and you also have that these consoles have liquid cooling, which that doesn't, like, if people don't know how to like, if they don't keep these consoles like in cool places, and then let's say the liquid cooling does dried out, or like we've seen it moves out of place, and maybe the protective it has around doesn't like it snaps out, or maybe it wasn't put up the right way, this could damage the console. So I'm concerned for the longevity of these consoles.
I mean, I would say something though. I live here in DR. For example, temperatures here get to 105 degrees. That's probably like 33 or 35 Celsius, I think it is. But it gets hot. It gets hot. I mean, I remember the other day I was playing Elden Ring, fighting the last boss, and at one point, the console froze. It just kept on freezing that time. So I say, okay, let me turn on my AC, get the cooler pumping in there. And I'm telling you, I was playing on my Series X. But it was a really warm day. Imagine if that's a Series X, which we know how the cooling system works, and you see PlayStation taking out more cooling stuff. We're not saying that the new consoles are taking out more cooling stuff. We still have not seen what's inside them yet. But from the last revision model, they did take out the copper, right, and they made it lighter. But can you imagine that console here? I mean, I don't want to see what could happen though here. But I'm just glad I got the first version, which actually works really well and works perfectly fine, because I used it and used the heck out of it. So, Plume, my question to you: do you expect any major change of the cooling system of the console? If so, are you concerned for the longevities of the hardware?
I feel like if they change stuff that would reduce the cooling system and make it work, yeah, I would be concerned about the longevity. I don't feel like they would do that. I don't know if that's a very smart move. I wonder what they reduced in size or reduced in weight to make it way less. I don't even, for Sony and for PlayStation, I don't even think it's at all about the weight. It's just about the cheaper parts they can put in there. So I'd be more concerned about the parts and where they're getting them from compared to the original version of the PS5. In case those break easier, all that type of stuff, and it just points more towards them reducing their costs, increasing the price, increasing the profit. So there's all of that stuff that plays into it as well. But I don't know. It, like, from the video from Austin Evans when he put that out, they did reduce the heatsink, right? And then it did make it a bit hotter. And then you saw other people coming out and saying it was fine. So, and we haven't seen, like, we probably would hear about widespread, like, PlayStation 5 failures if there was a big issue with it. So I guess we won't know for a couple of years.
There probably is out there. The thing is, we got to sit down and type it in, and the probably will come up with stuff. But again, you know how fanboys are. They'll be like, no, that's all fake. You know how it is, yeah. But
yeah.
So The last question is: do you expect the Xbox Series to have a major revision? On my side, nah. I don't think they will do a major revision on it. I don't think so. How about you, Sour?
No, I don't think so either. No, not really.
And you, Plume?
I don't think so. The only thing I could think of is maybe they'll make the Series X a bit smaller at some point.
Yeah.
At some point, yeah. A lot smaller than what it is. I mean, not that big though.
No, it's not very big. Yeah.
It's like it looks like a concrete block. It looks cool.
All right, I'm gonna move into the last topic to
Go
try
for
to move it along a little bit. We have the Microsoft gaming CEO Phil Spencer on the Bloomberg Studio. I don't know if you both saw the interview. They talked about a lot of things. Basically, in 25 minutes, they cover so much. I kind of tried breaking it down into small pieces. I'm sure I'm gonna miss some parts. There were so many things to cover, but the first part they started talking a little bit about the gaming industry, especially like Microsoft, the comparisons between all the different, Bill Gates, was the guy named from the owner of the Clippers. I forget his name.
Wasn't it Steven something?
Steve Ballmer. Steve Ballmer.
Steve Ballmer, yeah.
Yeah, Satya Nadella, and Phil Spencer was talking about Satya Nadella coming from the cloud. He came in, and the first thing he kind of asked Phil Spencer was, why are we in the gaming industry? And Phil Spencer kind of said, it wasn't like something offensive or anything like that, but he just genuinely wanted to know what was their approach and what was the game plan. Once they got together and they knew what they wanted, a few months later, the Minecraft purchase came along, and they decided to purchase Minecraft. He talked about how Minecraft was a game that was played on many platforms, including tablets, mobile, not only consoles, PC. It was being played everywhere, and it's something that they were looking to jump into, and also that Minecraft had a lot of people creating things, which was something that they envisioned for Microsoft future. Everyone creating. And then they also asked him in this segment of Phil Spencer, how does the deal come along, the purchases. She even played around and said that she heard that, he doesn't even need to tell like Satya Nadella or anyone that he can just go and make the purchases. He kind of laughed a little bit and he said, not exactly like that. Like, of course, big purchases and then big acquisitions, big deals. He has to sit down with the board, sit down with Satya Nadella. So it was pretty good introduction. So I will start with the first question. Do you think Phil Spencer having the green light to make smaller purchases after the Activision deal, is done? Do you think he might try to secure a smaller studio, or do you think they will go after a publisher? Let's start with you, Plume.
I think he will. I mean, he did. I don't know if it was in that interview or a different one, but he did mention that they weren't done and they were still looking to kind of expand Xbox and the ecosystem, whether that meant through like partnerships or buying developers and stuff like that. So yeah, I think so, because 7 billion and then 68.9 or 7 whatever it was billion.
But do you think they will take the small studios approach or next, or do you think they'll go right after Activision Blizzard to another big fish? What will be your guess? Come on, play your cards.
I personally think they will take a little bit of a break and go after smaller studios. I think that's what they'll do. I think they need to really focus on getting all those studios aligned and releasing games like in a timely fashion so Game Pass can get really populated with huge titles.
That's my guess too. How about you, Crazy?
But here's the thing, though. When she asked him about that question, are they still looking for to make more deals, or what are they doing to expand? You know, their.
Go crazy, crazy. Wait. You're moving too fast.
Oh,
That's
moving too
down the
fast.
line.
Okay. Oh, is that okay. But
Based on
but
what on the
but
first segment of the
But
interview.
I'll tell you something though. He actually jumped that, so I think they have something underneath that they still have not announced. Just waiting for the Activision deal to go through. Because literally he just jumped that question, didn't answer. He started talking about South Africa, something like that.
No,
And I was like, huh?
that was toward the end.
Oh,
That
toward the
question.
end,
Yeah,
I was laughing with that. I was like,
this was at the
he jumped
beginning.
that. He jumped. I was like, they probably have something beneath their hands. But yeah, yeah, I think they will start getting smaller studio approach because I mean, what else is there out there that's big? I mean, big as you got Ubisoft and you got uh,
EA.
hmm, EA, but
I mean,
WB.
there's always big fish there.
yeah, but EA is big and Ubisoft is big too. So
Activision was bigger. Just saying.
I did. Yeah, Activision, of course. Nah, the employees. I don't think Activision had more employees
No,
than
not more
than
employees,
Ubisoft.
but
Yeah,
it's definitely
Ubisoft is
it's
huge and EA is big too. I mean, EA is how many studios do they have
but
underneath? Probably like 40.
but Ubisoft will cost way less money.
Probably so.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
probably so. But I'm just saying, like EA, it's got like 40 studios underneath them. Ubisoft has got a couple of them, but I don't. I think they'll go for a smaller studio approach with much more talent. EA needs a lot of babysitting, and on my point of view, I hope that nobody gets mad, but EA needs a lot of babysitting. Ubisoft does too. They need to be watched over.
I just would take Respawn.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah, me too. I would take respawn out of all of them. Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, let's move to the second part of the interview where they actually started talking about the whole Activision Blizzard deal, how it came about. He saw the opportunity, and he actually started talking about how they saw that Activision brought them an opportunity to jump more into the mobile gaming, which it's the biggest platform in gaming. That's where most of the users are, and also they have the PC market. They have some games that are big in the PC market. So they saw the opportunity and they really wanted to jump into that. They also asked him about the regulatory. How is it going? The regulatory conversations, and he said, everything is moving great. Of course, with a purchase this big, there are going to be questions and there's going to be an investigation, and a lot of these individuals that are doing this investigation, they don't know gaming, so they're gonna bring questions and they have to sit down with them and kind of baby feed and explain to them what this move means and what are their ideas, like what are their goals with this acquisition. They also asked them about the partnerships they have with Sony and how they will go about the games, being exclusive or being in one platform, all about that. They said, of course, they have a great relationship not only with Sony, also with Nintendo, and one feeds after one, helps the other because they're all in the gaming industry and they have games across each platform. And something I found very interesting, he said that in the long term, they all kind of have the same goal where, games will be played anywhere. But the problem between them right now, it's basically the midterm or kind of like the right now competition where, right now each company wants the user to get their console because, of course, they want you to get into their ecosystem or their platform and purchase their games. But he envisioned, and it seems like Sony and Nintendo also see that in the future, that there's going to be a future where, it's not going to matter what platform you're in. You're going to be able to play all your games it seems like in all devices. Diversity, it's something they also talked about in reaching the 3 billion players. They also asked them about Bobby Kotick. Maybe I'm saying it wrong. They asked him, is he gonna remain after the deal? And he answered straight up that he can't give them an answer as of now, but once the purchase is done, then they can make a decision and respond. And lastly, on this segment, they also asked them about unionizing. And he also responded to that they're all on it, that if one of these studios feel the need that they need to unionize, or that they need anything, that they're willing to go full hands and help them with that. So anyway, let me jump quickly to these questions so we can get to the last part of the interview, which was the most interesting. Let's start with you, Crazy. Do you see Xbox adding a mobile Game Pass, kind of like PC Game Pass? They got Xbox Game Pass, maybe a cloud Game Pass also, and mobile Game Pass. I mean, they will have, after the purchase, they will have Call of Duty mobile. They will have King's game, which they have Candy Crush. You also have Blizzard, which has I forgot the card game they have that I used to play, Hearthstone. And you have Diablo Immortals. I mean, they're gonna have a pretty beefy mobile division, like once this deal is done. So do you think that's possible?
I'm gonna tell you something though. They already have a Game Pass app mobile. They already have it. The question would be though, will they expand it to other countries that actually do need the Game Pass app to work?
When I mean not the app. What I mean is a Game Pass mobile. Like for example, you have PC Game Pass, which they bring PC games specifically for the PC, Game Pass. For example, Death Stranding just came out only for that platform. Do you see something where there's a Game Pass for mobile games, where if you have that Game Pass, maybe most of these games are free to play, but maybe you get perks for subscribing, and all the games are there in a list.
You mean probably add a mobile app game into that Game Pass mobile? That's what you're trying to mean, right?
I'm not sure if you mean the same thing, but basically what I mean, you're gonna have an app that's like Game Pass on your mobile, where you but that's for xCloud, that's for cloud. But what I mean is specific app that you download the games there, and then more of these developers start making more games specifically only for mobile.
Okay, yeah, I mean they could actually be doing that. Why not? They could actually do it. I mean, you got Call of Duty Mobile, isn't it? Which would be a free to play.
Yeah.
You download it, and I have played Call of Duty Mobile. It's a lot of fun, That would be pretty cool. But yeah, I would, like I said before, I would just love for them, instead of making just a Game Pass Mobile, I would just for them just to reach out more, so people can actually use their Game Pass xCloud or anything, whatever mobile thing they have on there, because I can't use it. All I can use is remote play. That's it. That's the only thing I can use, and it's remote play. I can't use Game Pass or xCloud or whatever, unless if I have an ExpressVPN installed, which will basically let me, if I have it installed on my cell phone. But the thing is, since it has the location of Dominican Republic, it doesn't let me install it. So yeah, I just hope that they can expand it so I can, use it.
Okay. Well, question for Plume. Do you think Bethesda and Activision are maybe the key for helping other Microsoft studios to start hit their date, or to start to make games a little bit faster, since they have a pretty good rhythm there in their divisions. Do you think?
I think Xbox is hoping that they are that answer to help them release games on a more normal schedule, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Because I guess if you remember back to the Xbox and Bethesda roundtable long time ago, they specifically mentioned, like Phil Spencer specifically talked about how nobody's forced to learn how other studios do things, but hey, if they want to learn, they can go and they can work on other projects that they're interested in and all that type of stuff. So yeah, I think they are hoping that all of the knowledge that Bethesda can provide is going to help push along other studios to grow, especially like their newer studios like the Initiative and stuff. But yeah, I think they're hoping.
Yeah, hopefully. Well, anyway, let's jump to the last part of the interview, which they talked a little bit about the work environment after the pandemic. Then they talked about the console demand, which, like Crazy said earlier, he said that towards 2023 they expect things to flow better. Hopefully, everyone could get their console. They also talked about the console future. He was asked if maybe they would go away from the console manufacturing, and he said that as he didn't say it exactly that, but from my understanding was that as long as we the consumer want consoles, that they will continue to build console. So that's great. They talked about gaming community and gaming for kids, if it's a good thing or not. Then they got into the metaverse, which it's funny because his ideology his idea of metaverse is completely different to the Facebook guy, which I forgot his name trying to say that word, but anyway. Basically he says games are the metaverse, which I kind of agree. If you look at the idea of metaverse, it's kind of the same thing.
That's been existing for a long time.
Yeah. They talked about crypto and play to earn. He wasn't very he was a little bit skeptical about that. He did give example of ways that it could be used, that it could be beneficial, but at the same time he said that he would be very careful with that type of games. And then the last part, which was the part that Crazy was dying to get to, he was asked about future deals and geographic expansion. He said that especially on the last one, the geographic expansion, that's something they're very much looking forward to. He gave example of things that, places they expand, like in Africa. And, I think if you want to reach 3 billion subscribers, then you definitely want to expand to different parts of the world. Kind of like if you look at Netflix, they started bringing movies and series from different part of the world, because maybe I might see a series from another place of the planet that might not appeal to me, but I'm sure it's going to appeal to that part of the globe, because they consume that type of topic, that kind of a content, and the content appeals to them because it might be a story about one of their village or one of their history, or it might just be related. And I think it was great to hear that, especially since we want Game Pass to expand everywhere. So let's start with you, Plume. Do you agree with Phil Spencer vision of the metaverse, or do you have a different opinion of the metaverse?
So his opinion is that it's essentially we're already there type of thing, with
Yeah,
with gaming.
his opinion is that the metaverse is basically a game, like a game
Yeah.
you can create an avatar, or you play with a created avatar, and you just get immersed in a game, in a world.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree with him in that sense. I'm not that old, right? But like I'm more old school in the sense that, to me, thinking about gaming evolving into like being completely immersed into VR, into this like metaverse area where you kind of lose complete like thought of the real world around you, isn't that exciting to me. Like, I like where we are right now with gaming. I'm not too excited for Zuckerberg's like vision of the metaverse, where you literally
Nah.
live on in a VR headset type of thing. And you don't
Nah.
actually live in the real
Yeah.
world. I think that's kind of out there, and I don't know how successful that's going to be. So I agree with Phil Spencer's. Yeah, I agree with his vision as to where we are. I mean, you already kind of get lost when you create a character in like big open world RPG and like make
Yeah.
decisions and do all these quests and stuff. So yeah, I'm with him on that.
Okay, and before I jump to crazy, I'm actually gonna ask you this question too, because after looking at it, this is more of the fun question. Um, what future deals do you expect Phil Spencer and Xbox Division to make, and where would you like them to upgrade their portfolio? Like um, what kind of games do you feel like they need to upgrade? Plume, with you.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were asking me. What's it?
No, I
One more
want
time.
to let me ask you first. Sorry, hold on. Okay, the question is, what future deals do you expect Phil Spencer and the Xbox division to make, and where would you like them to upgrade their portfolio?
Ooh, future deals. Future deals. I don't. I'm honestly like, I think that they have everything in place right now where they can make games in every single genre. Maybe the main thing that they have to upgrade the portfolio in is like creating games like The Last of Us, or creating games like Uncharted, which is like a single player, very cinema driven narrative style of game. Not that like I'm the biggest fan of that. I'm more of like
Yeah.
I like what Xbox portfolio has. I'm a big gameplay person over like story and cutscenes and things like that. But I think the way that the industry has grown, it's become way more mainstream. And when you put out a game in there that has these like insane cutscenes, having crazy narrative, you just bring a lot more people into playing those games in general. And I think that's kind of where they have to upgrade in some shape or form. And they have studios in place to do that. Like the Initiative could be that studio, right? When we see Perfect Dark come out, we'll see how they do.
Yep.
I don't know who else they get. I know people want to see WB acquire. People want to see, I don't know, like maybe EA, maybe Ubisoft. Ubisoft does have that ability, so could be one of those studios. But I don't know. I think they have everything in place. You just kind of have to expand out on that and make sure stuff starts coming out.
All right. What about you, Crazy?
Let's start if I agree with Phil Spencer's vision of the metaverse. I do agree with him because it actually does exist for a long time. I mean, I'm going to give you an example. I just hopped in my cell phone. Just show you a little example right here. Let's go and jump real quick on Pokemon Go, right? It says here, PokemonGo.com shop. There's games right here. I mean, not the games, like profile that you can buy for like $39, $29, $54. And there's one here, the most expensive one costs $360. I have seen them, go for thousands. Not only that, you also got Destiny, for example. I mean, there's people that what's this place called that you go in Destiny that need help, and they actually pay a guy to jump in and help them out, go through it, and that guy runs through it and literally destroys everything, him by himself. You got also Elden Ring 2, Diablo, people giving out stuff, ruins, stuff like that. Hey, it's everywhere. People pay just to get stuff like that. So yeah, I think that actually does exist. It's been existing for a long time. When he said that, I was like, you know what? He's right. He's right. And now let's jump into the future deals. Do you think Phil Spencer and the Xbox division to make? What would you like them to upgrade the portfolio? I would agree with Plume there on they should get more to develop more third what is it? No, not third party games.
Per person.
Third person games. Yeah. I would agree more to get third person games with a little bit more narrative because again I'm there with Plume. I mean we were 80s style guys. We love just to get into that Nintendo and say hey you gotta save the princess. That's the only thing you gotta do. Just go forward, and do that. That's in save the princess. That was your only goal. Now we got this whole storyline, probably 23-hour videos. I mean the other day we had this discussion and we were talking about on the PlayStation Cinema videos on Horizon. They were actually like 5 hours long, totally 6 hours long the most. But Red Dead Redemption 2 is 23 hours long, just the cinema of that game.
That's
It's
crazy.
insane. That's crazy. That's a lot of cinema. So yeah, I couldn't agree more with you right there, and it's insane. But yeah, they need to make those type of games, and get more JRPGs in there. They need to get that in there because a lot of people have been wanting that more. So I hope they do bring that genre in there. I really do. I really do.
Yeah. I'll try to make mine quick, real quick. I do think, like Crazy said, JRPG. Third person action adventure. I think they have a few studio that might be able to make. Like you also have Ninja Theory. You have the Initiative, and I think some of the purchases from Activision Blizzard. Once they get the purchase, I'm sure not all those studios are gonna be making Call of Duty. Hopefully. So I think what they need a little bit more of is family games. I think they especially if they want to reach the 3 billion users, they need kids and family games are perfect for that. So that's something I would like them to expand on.
Peppa Pig.
Peppa Pig. No, but when I mean family games, I mean like Mario Kart, Mario Party, things like that. Things that
And
appealing.
they have the characters that they could literally make all those style of games, just
Yeah.
make big party games. It'd be
Yeah,
cool to see how people take it.
I would also like them to make like new style of party games, something
Yeah.
different. It would be awesome. So anyway, we went a little bit more overboard. Unfortunately, we didn't have our captain to kind of time us. So let's go with Captain Louis for the outros and for the landing announcement.
Yes, sir. I finally got my captain gear on. So, ladies and gentlemen,
Oh,
we have arrived at our destination. For your safety and comfort, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the crazy captain turns off this live stream. On behalf of Xbox International, we'd like to thank you for joining us on this trip, and we're looking forward to seeing you aboard next Wednesday at 7 p.m. EST. And now, it's time for me to do the outro. Whoa, whoa. So, first things first, Mr. Plume, thank you for joining us in this awesome episode. We had loads of fun with you, man. Really appreciate it that you actually sat here with us for this 2 hours and 8 minutes long? But hey, it was a lot of fun, man. Really. So, Plume, tell everybody where they can find you.
Oh, real quick thing. Aren't you close to reaching what is it, 10K?
I'm sure. Yeah, close. I'm hoping to get there by the end of the year. So
So anyone,
cool.
anyone not subscribed, please go there, man, and support Plume because he's a great channel. He works pretty hard, and it would be awesome if he could reach those 10Ks.
Yep. He's our hashtag insider.
Yeah. Yes, he is.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that, guys. Happy to be here. Actually, I love your podcast. I watch it every Wednesday. You guys see me in the chat. It's I don't just watch it just to some people just like the support for everyone, but I actually really enjoy your podcast. So I'm really happy to be here. Whenever you guys need a fill in, someone's on vacation or whatever, I'm always down to hop in and talk games. So, but you guys, Plume Network on YouTube, the Big Plume on every other social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or whatever. You can follow me there.
Awesome. How about you, Sour Blow? Tell everybody where they can find you, brother.
Well, you can find me, of course, Wednesday here at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And you can find me everywhere else, SourBlow18, Twitter, Xbox, and also on YouTube. That channel, I'm putting, every so often, I'm uploading trailers. I actually have a trailer for this Saturday that's about Plague Tale Requiem, so stay tuned to that trailer. And, I've been uploading trailers here and there. And I got a few things lined up. Some of them are with our friend, our brother, Silent Cypher, which one of them, I'm just thinking about it right now, and it makes me laugh. So stay tuned to that. There's some nice trailers coming up.
It's awesome. And before I do my outro, I want to say, chat, thank you so much for keeping this thing rolling, and thank you so much for the questions. You guys rocked. You guys were awesome. And again, thank you for always joining us each and every single week here on Xbox International. So, where can you find the crazy one? It's easy. You can find him at Twitter at Crazy Louis Gaming, doing all sorts of crazy stuff, especially his good morning videos and his promos to other channels. And also, you can find him here every single Wednesday with Silent Cypher and Sourglow in the Crazy Louis Gaming YouTube channel at Xbox International at 7 p.m. ET. And, like I always say, remember. Let's go, let's rock, and let's get crazy. Yes, see you all next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the XBI Podcast. Please make sure to like and subscribe on the way out. We'll see you next time.